let's talk about giving your pricing strategy a quick review and maybe a bit of an overhaul. Profitability starts with pricing. If you get this wrong, you're going to be struggling uphill the whole time. The number one business mistake people make is underpricing to start. And then they're constantly pushing, trying to increase their prices, but they don't have the margin, but they can't pay for good stuff. It all starts with underpricing, and that's where a lot of business model challenges happen with founders. Obviously, you can't just hike up the prices if your delivery and your service is rubbish. So you need to obviously work at exceeding the value you charge. So getting better at delivery and actually building a super valuable product that the market wants, finding that product market fit is super important, and sales will naturally flow off the back of it. So I just want to have a reality check there. You can't just double your prices and be a millionaire. You need to level up your game, obviously. Here's the challenge that I see with a lot of founders. Their charge out rate is too low, or they're using a weighted average charge out rate for their whole team, and their most expensive team members probably should be charged out at a much higher rate. The second challenge is they don't have visibility over their costs, and scope creep eats away at their profits, but they don't even realize it. And then third one, they're often undercharging to win work and then over-servicing that same client. So it's a double negative. They should have priced it higher, and then they're even exceeding that again. So that's another key challenge that I see fairly often. Here are some solutions. Fix your charge out rate. So I would suggest implementing a tiered charge out rate. So high paid staff are on a higher charge out rate, your lower paid staff are at a lower one. Understand your true cost. Track your actual or average billable rate. So that's, the retainer dollars you're collecting versus all the hours that we threw at that retainer for the last month. What does that average billable rate look like? Compare it across our clients and compare it across time to see the trends. And what was the billable rate that you thought we were going to be getting in the quote? Let's compare it to that and see how far off we are. Be okay saying no to people. This is a really hard one, especially saying no to more money. If people balk at your price, it's probably a good thing, and they'll be a pain in the ass anyway. Often the low paying people are the most needy, so be okay saying no to the wrong kind of client and for the wrong price, because you're just setting yourself up for long-term failure. Next point is to charge for strategy and discovery. So selling a paid strategy, between 5 to 15K up front to show your value, but also get paid for your time, I think is a super smart strategy. That paid onboarding is really leaving money on the table if you're not trying to access that. And it positions you as the expert, not the order taker, for the long term with this client. So you're really showing your expertise up front. You're not just a delivery, a gopher, if you will. The next one is to review access promised in the retainers. I think too often people just are a bit wishy-washy with what level of access they get to their staff, and they want to keep the client happy and they're scared about them losing. But retainers should be access-based and not unlimited. So for X dollars per month, you get X level of access. If they want more than that, they need to pay for it. And then finally, you need to align your pricing with your client profitability. So the highest paying clients should be the most profitable, which is often the opposite. Often the big clients are being overserviced the most and are the least profitable. So you need to fire your low margin ones and make sure that the big fish are your most profitable. Get super good at delivering on those, because they will drive a huge amount of the profits for your business. So in conclusion, raising prices isn't risky. Staying cheap is a risk. It's a business risk because you'll go broke eventually. High prices attract better clients. And then second point, pricing is a growth lever. You can't grow without a decent profit margin. And honestly, this is the number one thing I see when people are stuck in the mud. They don't know what to do to grow their business. It's because they don't have enough margin built into their business, and they don't have enough margin left over to hire for that next team member or to hire a better qualified team member. It all starts with pricing, because that's how you define your profit margin. If this sparks some interest, feel free to get in touch and we can help you map your path to profitability. Thanks for watching.